Hi, we are now recording. I am Misty Cogdill. I am the owner of Handwriting-Soul Academy, and I am here to share an interview with Andy. He's one of my clients with Handwriting-Soul Academy. He started back in April. And Andy, can you share a little bit about how we met and a little bit about the program?
Sure, but I'm your star people.
Star client.
Yes. So we met in LA. I think it was back in March. I was there for a conference, and I heard you talking to a bunch of women. I think the funny thing was they were all divorced, and I was over listening this conversation. You were telling them about how a woman takes on her husband's last name. That they change when they change their last name. They change their whole life, their whole personality. And I was like, wait a minute, what? So I hung out there, and then finally got a chance to meet with you, and then we started talking. I was really intrigued about it, and then you asked me to give you a sample of my signature, and I did, and you're like, oh, you have the bubble A, and you do the backwards D, and the figure eight S. Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? And then you explained some things, and you pointed out some stuff in my life that was pretty dead on. And I was hooked. I was like, whoa, I want to learn this.
Yeah, so I basically gave you a handwriting analysis, shared what was there, and it was pretty accurate. And from there, you were like, okay, you explained things that you probably shouldn't have explained from what I read in your handwriting. And then that's what had you want to take the program, or what kind of had you?
But I was like, well, I want to change my handwriting. I mean, you learn how to do handwriting in elementary school, middle school, and you basically, no one teaches you how to sign your name. You just kind of do your own. And you're like, hey, yours is ego based, and I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, I can teach you how to do spiritually based signature. So I was hooked. I wanted to do that. I was like, yep, sign me up. Let's do this. I want to do this.
Awesome, yeah. And then from there, kind of what were some of the experiences you had since you signed up for the program until today? Can you speak about some physical experiences that you felt with your shifting of your handwriting?
Sure. So, I mean, you would give me assignments, and I think we did the entire alphabet, but it wasn't like in school. I don't know if they go A through Z right away. I think they do it differently, but you had to structure it away with assignments, and I would always do my handwriting assignments at night, right before I went to bed, and then I didn't think anything of it. I just like, okay, just doing this and just doing my thing, and I'm probably 5-6 weeks into this, and we were on a group call, and one of the other ladies had said something about her skin itching, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? And I was experiencing the same thing. I would write this, but I would go to bed, and I was just like, like I was stretching, going to bed, but it was happening right after I did my handwriting. And I explained it to you, like, oh, you're expanding, you're stretching. It was like my skeleton inside was trying to almost pop out of my skin. So then I was like, started to pay attention to what else was going on. There would be some times that I would actually, like right around in my forehead area, like I would get, I'd be writing, like I was reprogramming or rewiring my brain, because I was actually changing my handwriting based on the assignments. So it was, when she said that, that's when the light went on. I was like, whoa, because I was experiencing, but I didn't know that the two were linked.
Yeah, it's when the neurological patterns in your brain shift, sometimes there is a physical reaction to it, and that's definitely something that we talked about and that other people have experienced as well. Can you share about some of the business experiences that you've had?
So,
since changing your handwriting.
You and I have talked about this a couple times, but so I think I started the program late March, April, and I'm in the financial industry, and it seemed like I could only, I was only doing 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, and then all of a sudden, sometime in May. So probably 6-7 weeks into this. 10,000 was nothing anymore. I mean, it was 26,000, it was 46,000, 47,000, 53,000. Last week it was 173. Yeah, it was just crazy. It was like I broke through this ceiling, and you're like, oh, it's because you're handwriting.
Well, we noticed the cause and effect, what happened before and then what happened after.
Yeah.
You know, and then that was the result. So we're noticing the cause and effect, and then you have been sharing, you know, that you've never had results like this before.
That's correct. Yeah.
So.
Before I was doing this.
All right, Andy, I wanted to interview you because you've had great results. You've done the program exactly as designed. You've had everything show up. You've had a lot of great, amazing breakthroughs. Can you share with me can you share with people that are listening and watching, what would you say to somebody who's thinking about signing up for the program?
Well, ultimately it's their journey, but I know I am very happy with the results that I got. I can't even, it's hard to imagine being the way I used to write. It has changed. I remember, I think it was a couple weeks ago when I was doing it, my wife and I were refinancing our home. And, you know, if you ever refinance or bought a home, like the stack of paper is like that thick, and you got to sign and sign and sign. And she's whipping through it, and she's sending to me, and I'm taking my time, and I'm signing my new signature, and she's yelling at me, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "This is how I sign my name now." It's just that whole, it was such a change. And just the side effects, you know, we didn't even talk about the dreams that I had. But the business aspect that I had, the side effect of that, I mean, in May, I was doing about $8 million in business, and last week I'm up to 12 million. I mean, that's 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, $4 million increase. I mean, you can look at my life, go back, you know, oh, maybe it's my personality, but you know, you can look, I've been doing this handwriting, and I changed my handwriting. You can see the cause and effect. And that's so, I mean, that's how I stumbled on this. You know, if you're watching this, yeah, I'd sign up for it. And, you know, you may not get the business you want. You know, that's just the side effect. I wasn't signed up for that. I just wanted to change my handwriting, and I changed, and the side effects have been awesome.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andy, for sharing. Thank you for being willing to be recorded so that we can share this with many, many people. And if you're listening and you have any questions, definitely reach out. You can log on to my website, www.handwriting-soulacademy.com, and book an appointment. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions, as well as talk about possibly what can open up for you, do a handwriting analysis, and see where your results can go. So thank you, Andy. I appreciate it, and thank you for watching.